comments very much, and thank you for the introduction. You know, the public at large has a lot of preconceived ideas and notions about lawyers. One or two of them are actually favorable. And one of those preconceived ideas about attorneys is never turn them loose with a microphone and ask them to give a speech. Because there's a good chance it may go on and on and on. But you know, that preconceived idea about attorneys giving long speeches is not really always right or correct. If you think about it, Abraham Lincoln was a lawyer, and his probably most famous speech, the Gettysburg Address, was known for being short, concise, to the point. In fact, it's the entire address I have in my office, and it's small enough to put on an 8.5 by 11 frame, and I have it framed on my wall. So today, for my comments to you, I'm going to try in my small way to follow the footsteps of Abraham Lincoln and stay brief rather than long. But today is a very, very special day, as Howard has pointed out in his comments to you. It's the day on which the dream of many dedicated people here in the county becomes a reality. Today, the Brooke County Veterans Memorial is formally dedicated. And I remember the beginning of that dream. I remember going to the first organizational meeting that we had at Staffolino's restaurant in Wellsburg, where a number of people gathered and expressed an intent to create a Veterans Memorial in Brooke County to honor the memory of the loyal and brave men and women of Brooke County who served in the armed forces of the United States. To honor those in the military who gave so much for our county and for its people. To honor those veterans who gave their lives in their service to our country. What we wanted to do was to do something to forever preserve and to honor the memory of the Brooke County veterans in all wars, to promote the cause of freedom, both at home and around the world. We also wanted to keep the legacy of those veterans forever fresh in the memories of future generations. I had the pleasure of taking my grandson Adam down and showing him the inscription of my father in regard to his service on World War II before we began today. At that first meeting that we had, I remember Joan Nicholson talking about the death of her nephew Michael Smith in his recent service to our country in Iraq. I remember Howard Armstrong talking about his classmate and school friend, Moose Mossgrove, who died in Vietnam. And I spoke briefly myself about the loss of my father when I was just a year old, and he was an Air Force sergeant who perished with his entire bombing crew in the English Channel during World War II. We discussed that we've got to remember that the freedoms that we Americans enjoy do not come cheaply. Those freedoms have been paid for with the flesh and blood of American servicemen and women, and with the tears of those whose lives were changed forever by the loss of loved ones. Our goal was to honor all of our veterans who gave their lives in all wars and all conflicts in the service of their country. That meeting, as Howard noted, was 8 years ago. In fact, it was on September the 1st, 2004, that the Veterans Memorial Park Foundation Incorporated received its incorporation papers from the West Virginia Secretary of State. Now, since the inception of this organization, as Howard touched upon briefly, there's been an enormous amount of work, an enormous amount of planning, at times a great deal of frustration for those who worked so hard on this project, but many very successful events and activities to forge the way for this day today. And all of you that have worked so hard for so long, and I see many of you out there today in this audience, from 2004 until 2012, that 8-year period, you all deserve the thanks and gratitude of the Brooke County community. So I'm going to say to all of you, I thank you on behalf of the citizens of Brooke County, West Virginia. And also, a big thank you to the board of directors and the employees and leaders of the Brooke County Park Board for allowing us to erect this beautiful site to be used to honor our veterans here. It is a beautiful site. Not long ago, I was reading a book and I came across a concept that was new to me. The concept was that it's possible for a person to have two deaths. The author of the book said that the first death is our physical death, when we stop breathing and our spirit leaves our body. But our second death, according to the author, may take place when there's no one alive who remembers us. No person who recalls that we walked on this earth, that we had friends and family, and that our lives really meant something. This beautiful Veterans Memorial has inscribed the names of those veterans who lived and walked the earth in Brooke County, West Virginia. It identifies those veterans who served and gave their all for their country. It will remind us that America will be the land of the free only as long as it continues to be the home of the brave. These brave men and women will not have a second death. This memorial will consecrate their eternal memory. And all of us in Brooke County shall be forever proud of this tribute to those who sacrificed so much. God bless the state of West Virginia. God bless Brooke County, West Virginia. And God bless those to whom we pay tribute at this memorial today. Thank you.